Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode. It's with a heavy heart that we share the sad news of extraordinary American legends who passed away in the last 24 hours on May 28, 2025. Today, we pay tribute to their remarkable lives, legacies, and contributions that inspired us all. Join us as we honor their memory and reflect on their impact. If this resonates with you, please like, support, and subscribe to our channel for more heartfelt tributes and stories. Thank you for being here. Ronnie Dugger. What does it take to change a state's political soul? Ronnie Dugger, a name synonymous with fearless journalism, did just that in Texas. But his story isn't just about headlines, it's about a man who took on power and never backed down. Let's dive in. Born in Chicago in 1930, Dugger landed at the University of Texas, where he cut his teeth as editor of the Daily Texan. Even then, he wasn't afraid to stir the pot, challenging campus norms with sharp writing. That fire would soon ignite something bigger. But what? In 1954, Dugger founded the Texas Observer, a scrappy magazine built to expose truths the mainstream ignored. With a pen as his weapon, he tackled social injustice and political corruption head-on, giving voice to the unheard. His work wasn't just news, it was a movement. And it ruffled feathers. Dugger's reporting didn't stay quiet. He called out Texas political elite, exposing backroom deals and sparking outrage. His bold style drew threats and criticism, but it also earned him respect as a truth-teller who wouldn't bend. What drove him to keep going? His voice echoed beyond Texas. Writing for The Nation, Harper's, and The New Yorker, Dugger brought progressive ideas to a national stage. Hundreds of articles poured out, each one sharp, urgent, and unafraid. He wasn't just reporting, he was shaping the conversation. But there was more to come. In 2011, the George Polk Award crowned his lifelong fight for truth. The Austin American-Statesman called him the godfather of progressive journalism in Texas. Mentors like Dugger inspired a generation of reporters to dig deeper. Yet, challenges loomed. The Texas Observer faced money troubles in recent years, and whispers online suggest its future hangs in the balance now that Dugger's gone. Fans and journalists alike speculate, can the magazine carry on his vision? The question lingers, but no one's sure. On May 27, 2025, Dugger passed in Austin at 95, after a long battle with dementia's effects. His loss hit hard, but his legacy burns bright. He showed what journalism could do, hold power accountable and give hope to the overlooked. And that's not the end of his story. Ronnie Dugger's life reminds us that one voice can shake a system. As Texas and the world keep changing, his work asks us, who'll pick up the torch? Think about it. What's the cost of staying silent? Tain Elg. Ever wonder who carried Finland's flag to Hollywood's golden age? Tain Elg, a name that sparkled in the 1950s, became the only Finn to claim a Golden Globe for Best Actress. But her path wasn't easy. Born in 1930 Helsinki, Tain grew up amid the chaos of the Finnish-Soviet wars. Her family, led by pianist parents, fled their home as it fell to Soviet control, shaping her resilience. But that wasn't the whole story. As a young ballerina, Tain dazzled at the Finnish National Ballet, but a crushing injury ended her dance dreams. Undeterred, she caught the eye of an American producer in London, landing a 7-year MGM contract. And what happened next would shock everyone. In 1957, Tain won a Golden Globe for her role in Gabby, followed by another for Les Girls, dancing alongside Gene Kelly. Her charm lit up the screen, but Hollywood's shift from musicals left her typecast, stalling her rise. Yet, Tain wasn't done. She pivoted to Broadway, earning a Tony nomination for Where's Charlie? And shining as Guido's mother in 9. Her next chapter was just as bold. On One Life to Live, Taina's character, Olympia Buchanan, met a dramatic end, tumbling over a balcony at a costume party, a scene still buzzing among soap fans. Off-screen, she married twice, raising jazz guitarist Raoul Bjorkenheim, and later returned to Finland, earning the Order of the Lion in 2004. Tain Elg passed in 2025 at 95, leaving a legacy as Finland's trailblazing star. So, what might her career have been if musicals hadn't faded? Her story makes you wonder. Rick Derringer. Can you name a rock star who shaped garage rock, penned a wrestling anthem, and sparked heated debates in his final years? Rick Derringer did all that and more. His 6-decade career is a roller coaster of hits, collaborations, and unexpected twists that kept fans hooked, and some furious. Let's dive into the story of a man who left a blazing mark on music, only to exit with whispers of mystery. At just 17, Rick Derringer, born Richard Zeringer, shot to fame with the McCoys. Their 1965 single, Hang On Sloopy, didn't just top the charts, it became Ohio's rock anthem and a go-to for Buckeyes fans. With its raw, gritty vibe, the song defined the garage rock era. The McCoys kept the hits coming with covers like Fever and Come On Let's Go, proving this teen prodigy wasn't a one-hit wonder. But that was just the start of his journey. By 1973, Derringer went solo and dropped Rock and Roll, Hoochie Coo, a riff-heavy banger that became a classic rock staple. Decades later, it roared back in Dazed and Confused and Stranger Things, winning over new fans. Its unapologetic energy was pure Derringer, loud, bold, and timeless. And what happened next would shock everyone. He stepped into a world far from rock stages. In 1985, Derringer co-wrote Real American for the WWF, a track meant for a tag team but claimed by Hulk Hogan as his iconic theme. It wasn't just a song, it was a cultural moment, blending rock with wrestling's larger-than-life energy. Derringer's knack for leaving a mark didn't stop there, though. His next move took him to unexpected heights. Derringer's guitar and production skills graced albums by Steely Dan, Cyndi Lauper, and even Barbra Streisand. His biggest win, producing Weird Al Yankovic's debut album, snagging a Grammy for parodies like Eat It. From rock anthems to wrestling themes to comedy hits, Derringer's versatility was unmatched. But not every chapter of his life was celebrated. In 2017, Derringer stirred up a storm by appearing on InfoWars and voicing support for Donald Trump. Fans were split. Some admired his boldness, others felt betrayed by the rocker's polarizing stance. It's been said that his outspoken views overshadowed his music for some, sparking debates that still linger online. And then came the final twist. On May 26, 2025, Derringer passed away in Ormond Beach, Florida, at 77, just months after recovering from triple bypass surgery. Reports claim he suffered a sudden medical episode, with his heart giving out despite seeming fine days earlier. Rumors swirled online. Some fans questioned if there was more to the story, though nothing's confirmed. His wife, gender, and caretaker, Tony Wilson, were by his side, marking the end of a legendary run. Rick Derringer's life was a soundtrack of triumphs, from Hang On Sloopy to Real American, with a few controversial notes along the way. His work shaped rock, wrestling, and pop culture, but his later choices left fans divided. What's next for his legacy? That's for you to decide as the rumors and tributes keep rolling in. Presley Chweneyagae. What really happened to Presley Chweneyagae, the South African star who left us too soon at just 40? His story is one of grit, glory, and unanswered questions that's got everyone talking. Born in Mafeking in 1984, Presley was hooked on acting by age 10, joining drama classes that set him on a path to greatness. Named after Elvis Presley by his mom, he was destined to shine. But what came next would blow everyone away. In 2005, Sotsy hit screens, and Presley's raw performance as a troubled gangster stole hearts worldwide. The film snagged South Africa's first Oscar, making him a global name. It wasn't just a role, it was a game-changer for African cinema. Presley didn't stop there. He lit up TV screens as Cobra in the River, took on roles in Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, and brought stories like Solomon Marlingo's to the stage. His versatility kept fans glued. But then whispers of a 67.5 million lottery scandal surfaced. Reports claimed he was caught up in it, though nothing's confirmed. What was that all about? Just days ago, Presley was dancing and laughing at a concert in Pretoria, hugging friends like nothing was wrong. Then, shockingly, he was gone by Tuesday morning. His family says natural causes, but fans are buzzing with questions. How does someone so vibrant pass so suddenly? Tributes poured in from co-stars like Terry Fetto and even the South African government, calling him a storytelling giant. Presley's legacy lives on, but the mystery of his final days lingers. What do you think his story tells us about fame and loss? Let's keep his light alive. Jean Tiberi. Was Jean Tiberi the heart of Paris or its master of deception? A man of Corsican roots, he climbed from a young magistrate to a political titan under Jacques Chirac's wing. By 1968, he was in France's National Assembly, a seat he held for over 40 years. But whispers of scandal followed him every step. In 1995, Tiberi took over as Paris mayor, steering the city through a real estate crisis and launching its first bike plan. He was a loyal Gaullist, loved by some for his dedication. But something darker was brewing beneath the surface. Reports surfaced of a jaw-dropping scheme. Over 3,000 ghost voters registered with fake addresses in the 5th arrondissement, securing Tiberi's wins in 1995 and 1997. Rumors swirled that he and his wife, Xavier, offered perks like daycare spots to loyalists. The city was stunned. Xavier wasn't just a bystander, she was called omnipresent in the fraud. She also pocketed 200,000 francs for a sloppy report on Francophonie, fueling corruption talk. And what happened next would shock everyone. In 1998, a raid on the chic Place du Panthéon apartment uncovered 2 unlicensed pistols and ammo, dodged only by destroying the weapons. The press dubbed it Corsican mores, hinting at deeper secrets. By 2001, Tiberi lost the mayoral race to Bertrand Delanoë. In 2015, courts convicted him and Xavier for vote rigging, handing him a suspended sentence and years of ineligibility. Yet, the Constitutional Council had controversially upheld his 1997 win despite clear fraud. Tiberi passed away in 2025 at 90, leaving Paris divided. Was he a devoted leader or a symbol of political schemes? Share your thoughts below. Choi Jung-woo. What really happened to Choi Jung-woo, the South Korean actor whose commanding presence lit up screens for nearly 5 decades? On May 27, 2025, the 68-year-old star left us, and the silence around his passing has sparked whispers and speculation. Let's dive into the story of a man whose talent defined K-dramas, but whose struggles stayed in the shadows. Choi Jung-woo kicked off his career in 1975, stepping onto the theater stage with the life of an actor. From there, he carved out a unique space in South Korea's entertainment world, becoming a go-to supporting actor. His voice echoed through Dongyang Broadcasting in the 80s, and his face became a familiar one in films like a Virgin and TV hits like Stand By. But there was so much more to his journey. Fast forward to the 2010s, and Choi was stealing scenes in some of the biggest K-dramas. In City Hunter, he brought depth to complex characters, while Master's Son showed off his knack for blending humor and heart. His role in The Tale of Lady OK last year reminded us why he was a fan favorite, delivering gravitas in every line. And that wasn't all he had in store. Even in 2025, Choi was still at it, guest starring as a father in Secret Relationships and joining the dark world of Disney Plus' The Tyrant. His career never slowed down, which made his sudden exit all the more shocking. But what was happening behind the scenes? Rumors have swirled that Choi was battling more than just the spotlight. Reports suggest he struggled with depression and panic disorder, conditions that weighed heavily in recent years. Some even mentioned a chronic illness, though nothing's been confirmed. His agency, Bless Ent, stayed tight-lipped, leaving fans to wonder, was this a hidden battle that finally took its toll? The truth remains elusive. South Korea's entertainment industry is no easy place. Just look at recent headlines. Stars like Kim Si-ron faced relentless scrutiny, with tragic outcomes. Choi, too, lived under that pressure, where every move is watched, and rumors can spiral. It's a world where even the strongest can crack, and fans are left piecing together the story. Choi's legacy, though, is undeniable. From earning the Best Actor award at the Dong-A Theatre Awards to leaving fans in tears with his final roles, he was a master of his craft. Social media is flooded with tributes, calling him a dignified force who elevated every project. His loss hits hard, not just for K-drama fans but for an industry that leaned on his talent. So, what does Choi Jung-woo's story tell us about the price of fame? A man who gave us decades of unforgettable performances is gone, and the questions linger. Share your thoughts below. Did his roles touch your life? And what do you think lies behind the silence of his passing? Freddie Aguilar. What does it take to become a legend whose voice echoes across generations? Freddie Aguilar, the soul of Filipino folk music, did just that. His life was a whirlwind of triumphs, controversies, and heartbreak, and it's a story you won't want to miss. Let's start with Anak, the song that put Freddie on the global map. Released in 1978, this heartfelt ballad about a parent's love and regret struck a chord worldwide, selling a jaw-dropping 33 million copies. It hit #1 in Japan, resonated in places like Angola and Europe, and was translated into 51 languages, making it the only Filipino song to achieve such a feat. But what made Anak so special? It wasn't just a song, it was a raw, universal story of family and redemption. And that was just the beginning. Freddie's voice wasn't just for heartfelt ballads, it became a weapon for change. His rendition of Bayan Ko lit a fire during the 1986 People Power Revolution. When Ninoy Aquino was assassinated in 1983, Freddie stood at his funeral, belting out this patriotic anthem that became the heartbeat of resistance against the Marcos regime. It blared from jeepneys and radios across Manila, uniting Filipinos in their fight for freedom. His music didn't just entertain, it inspired a nation to rise. But how did he get there? Born in 1953 in Santo Tomas, Isabela, Freddie was writing songs by 14 and strumming his first guitar at 17. By his 20s, he was performing in Manila's gritty folk clubs, earning 500 pesos a gig. His music blended Filipino heritage with influences from folk rock giants like Cat Stevens, creating a sound that was uniquely his. But his life wasn't all smooth chords and melodies. Things were about to get controversial. In 2013, at 60 years old, Freddie made headlines that shocked fans. Reports claim he converted to Islam, taking the name Abdul Ferad, to marry his 16-year-old girlfriend, Jovi Albao, in a ceremony in Buluan, Maguindanao. The age gap sparked heated debates across the Philippines, with many questioning his choices. Yet Freddie stood firm, unapologetic about his personal life. But that wasn't the only challenge he faced. In 2018, tragedy struck when a fire tore through his Quezon City home. It started in his music room, reducing awards, instruments, and memories worth 15 million pesos to ashes. His wife, son Jonan, and mother-in-law narrowly escaped, thanks to neighbors. Freddie was at his bar, Car Freddy's, when it happened, but he didn't let the loss break him. He kept performing, his spirit as defiant as his songs. And yet, more trials were coming. Rumors about Freddie's health started swirling in early 2025. His wife, Jovi, posted cryptic messages online, hinting at hospital visits and stormy times. Fans speculated wildly, but the truth hit hard. On May 27, 2025, Freddie passed away at 72 from multiple organ failure at the Philippine Heart Center. True to his Muslim faith, he was laid to rest that same day at the Manila Islamic Cemetery. The news left fans reeling, but his legacy was far from over. Freddie Aguilar wasn't just a musician, he was a voice for the Filipino soul. From the global stage of Anak to the streets of the People Power Revolution, his songs carried pain, hope, and truth. Even through controversies and losses, he never stopped singing for his people. So, what does his story leave us with? A reminder that one voice can change a nation, and maybe even the world. Vasily Funtikov. What makes a single role define an actor's life, only for their sudden exit to leave fans reeling? Vasily Funtikov, the Soviet star who captured hearts as Krosh, passed away in 2025, and the story behind his journey is one you won't forget. Born in Moscow in 1962, Funtikov grew up with big dreams. He honed his craft at the prestigious Boris S.H. Chukhin Theatre Institute, graduating in 1984 with skills that would soon light up screens and stages. But there was more to come. At just 18, Funtikov landed the role of a lifetime in Krosh's Vacation, a 1980 TV film that turned him into a Soviet icon. Fans still rave about his charm as the curious teen Krosh. And yet, his path wasn't all smooth. After his breakout, Funtikov served in the Soviet Army theater, blending discipline with drama. By 1989, he found a home at the Moscow Pushkin Drama Theatre, where he performed for decades. His screen roles kept coming: Tuning Fork, Presumption of Innocence, The Sister's Liberty, and gritty series like Blucher and Myrrh. Each part showcased his knack for bringing complex characters to life. Fans on X recently shared how his performances shaped their childhoods, with many calling him a legend. But whispers online hint at questions about his health. On May 27, 2025, Funtikov passed away at 62, leaving fans stunned. Rumors swirl about what happened, but nothing's confirmed. His legacy as Krosh and beyond lives on, but what does his loss mean for Russian cinema? Share your thoughts below.